School. The youth of America experiences all stages of this sanctioned system during the course of their youth, each stage of it being a gradual build of knowledge, maturity, and character. First, there's preschool, a time of finger painting, nap time, and thumb sucking. Then there's grade school, a time of reading, writing, and cooties. Next comes middle school, a time of peer pressure, pimples, and hormones. What follows is high school, a time of prom dates, more pimples, and the occasional teen pregnancy. And finally, there's college, a time of independence, internships, and drunken frat parties. However, what few people notice is that although these levels of education are very different from one another, in at least one way, they are all the same. At one time or another, we all experience various levels of anxiety. So in honor of Marietta College's Pipeline event, I asked two graduating seniors how they dealt with anxiety. And here's what they had to say. One of the things I'm curious about are the kinds of anxieties that you may have been feeling as you were preparing to leave high school and come here to Marietta College. What sort of anxieties were you feeling then, and how did you deal with them?
Naturally, students going away to college is a very difficult time and a very anxious time in a student's life because they're leaving what's comfortable and going away to something new. Some of the things that I experienced personally was I wasn't sure about, making new friends, and, I wasn't sure what the workload was going to be like, whereas I should have known that other students were going to have the same problems that I were, and they were feeling the same way that I was. So a way that I dealt with it was to, go to that academic resource center or go to groups on campus that, may be used to dealing with students and used to helping students. And one way I definitely fixed it was managing my time well and making sure that I stayed unstressed.
After I graduated high school, I wanted to go in the military right away, but I wasn't able to because I wasn't able to pass my tests. But then I decided to go to college, and that decision came because I was tired of just working a dead-end job and not doing anything, and the military thing wasn't working. And back where I was from, the only way to succeed was to either go to school or go into the military. That's the only way you did something productive with your life. So I finally was able to go into the military, and then after I was done with that, I decided, well, I already did my civic duty. I already did something that I wanted to do since I was a child. So now it's the focus on school. And the reason why I decided to come back to school is because nowadays having a degree opens doors that a high school diploma can't. But I was also worried about my age, because being 26 and having children, and then going to school full time, it's hard. Because after the military, I took a year off from school from anything. I didn't work almost for a whole year, and then I decided to work, and then I worked full time, and then I decided to come to school. So I had to prioritize what I was going to do and my responsibilities. So that was the main anxiety about how do I take care of my kids, still go to school, or still go to work, and go to school and perform and get the grades that I needed to pass and get my certificate at the end.
Another thing I'm curious about is the kind of anxieties that you may have been feeling once you finally started taking classes here at Marietta College for a few days or even a few weeks. What anxieties did you feel, and how did you deal with them?
After I got to college, there was a lot of things going on. There was a lot of pressure on campus, a lot of opportunities that you want to get involved. And sometimes people get overly involved and, don't manage their time wisely. And that's something I definitely experienced my first few weeks of college. Managing the workload, managing the stress of living on your own, financials. Everything is it feels like it's burdening down on you. And it's really hard to feel like you have somebody who you can confide in. So that's one thing that I wanted to make sure that I found was somebody that I could confide in and know that I could talk to at any point. And my family's really supportive, so that was great too.
The main anxiety that I had was just succeeding, because me at my age, I'm 26. I don't want to keep on doing this forever, and I don't want to make this a career, where I'm just keep on going to school for 7-8 years like Jim Belushi did in Animal House type of thing. I'm all about, my main goal is to succeed get the grades that I need to get my degree and keep it pushing with life, because I have kids, I have other things I have to do. You know, as much as I like scenery over here and all that, I have a mission. So my main anxiety was just, how do I take care of what I need to take care of, get the grades that I need to get my degree at the end, whether it's 2017 or 2018 as it's looking now. And that's my main mission.
The last thing I'm curious about is, now that you've all been here at Marietta College for as long as you have, what are your thoughts about it now? And if any, what kind of anxieties are you still feeling?
Well, after being in college for so long, you kind of get a new set of burdens and anxieties after you are leaving college. Whereas like looking for a job, looking for a place to live, you know, finding where you want to be for the rest of your life. It's something that's really stressful, but I feel that Marietta College has prepared me for those anxieties, and it's taught me how to deal with them, because college is a long and windy road, but your experience is what means the most. And if you know how you can deal with certain things in college, then you can deal with anything.
It was hard. It was harder than I think than this semester, but for some reason I was able to see the fruits of my labor. So now with this semester, I'm still, I still have the same drive, same motivation, still studious, still doing what I have to do, to get my degree. But my anxiety now is just keeping it together and passing, and I'm not so much worried about passing the classes, it's just more about the exams. Because me being a non-traditional student, it's been a while since I've been in school, and even when I was in high school, with certain classes, I had no problems in the classes. Getting the projects done, getting the homework done, getting all that done was no problem. I've always been a very goal-oriented person. It's just about tests, because I'm a horrible test taker. So that's my main anxiety, is tests, because I'm telling you, with tests, I'll study 3, 4, 5 days in advance, and I'll keep on studying to the day of the exam or the test. And sometimes it works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's very frustrating, because I'm being a very goal-oriented person and very priority-oriented person. I can't stand to fail. Failure is not an option for me, so it drives me crazy. So that's one of my major anxieties, and I have learned to cope with it, because being in college, it's not always going to work in your favor. Not everything is always going to go perfect. So you have to be realistic to yourself that there are going to be days where you're going to fail an exam or you're going to fail a quiz, and you're just going to have to keep it pushing.
The bottom line is, no matter how old you are, and no matter where you will end up in life, everyone has to deal with anxiety.
It's still hard, but with help from family and just keep on going, just for that motivation to get that degree, that's what fuels me to keep on going.
If you have a good support system, such as family, friends, or just otherwise trustworthy figures, then you too can manage and go on to live an adequately happy and successful life. And that's just wonderful. Marietta College, building futures, building friendships, and building families.